What's the deal, my people? You know it is the Don Tony Teflon. I'm back at you with another video, and this one is the House of Ashur, episode 6. We learned a lot about Achilles' backstory and some more plots, and Ashur once again outsmarted. We're going to talk about all that in this video, and hit that thumbs up for your boy. 500 is the like goal. Let's try to get there this time. And subscribe to this channel if you can. I would truly appreciate it. We'll do a live stream very soon this week, getting more in depth about this video. But in the beginning, we see the aftermath of last episode where Spartacus tells Ashur the only way to save her is to chop off her hand, which would end her career as a gladiator. Ashur can't have that, so instead he decides to throw him off of a cliff, and then he has to find himself a new Spartacus at this particular time. We see Cornelia still inside the house of, shall we say, Caesar, and just holding down the fort. In fact, just bossing everybody around inside of this house like she is the boss. Now, I think that she's untouchable. I don't think there's any way for them to kill her off like we have seen happen to other highborn ladies in this show. But her specifically, I don't think she can be touched. I do not think that she is going to be killed off when it is all said and done. So Ashur is just going to have to deal with her. At this particular time, he tells Chorus, listen, go do what you have to do. Go see your peoples. And then he does. We see him go back. And again, I didn't know that he was truly in love with this guy, but it seems like he is truly in love with this guy. And he's about to bounce because he is afraid of Caesar. He knows that Caesar is the one who set the plan in motion. And the fact that he was down with it and now Caesar is after him, he wants to bounce and get up out of there as quick as possible. And this leaves Chorus to thinking that Ashur had something to do with this whole plot, that he had his life involved and he almost died during this plot. But Ashur explains to him and tells him that he had nothing to do with it. In fact, he did not know that that part of it was going to happen. He didn't know that Caesar had done that. Only when Caesar told him he did it, was he able to put everything together. And that he basically wouldn't put Chorus's life on the line like that if he knew that was going to go down. But while this is going on, we see that all the gladiators are about to get together to fight to become the new champion, because as Achilles is still on the men's, they do need a house champion. So Ashur tells them, listen, we got to get this house championship going on, so we're going to have a tournament to find out who is the best amongst them, so that that person can now be the house champion, because now all of a sudden they have gained some type of status due to Achilles, that they're going to be in demand, and they're going to have people that are there that can represent the house correctly. But while this is going on, Cornelia has some guests over. And while this is going to happen, the tournament, she says, let me select a few of these gladiators instead of y'all doing this tournament, so that my guests can be, how can I say, entertained by their manliness. So they point out a couple of gladiators, 3 of the best that Ashur has, so he can't really do a true tournament without them all being there and participating at the same time. But nevertheless, he still has to go through what he has to go through, because there's no way that he can have a house without a house champion. And once again, Cornelia is just displaying dominance. She is just saying that this is what I want to do. You're going to listen to everything that I say, and you're not going to complain when I tell you to do these things. You're just going to do them because I'm telling you, and I'm Caesar's woman. Even though in this society, women do not really dictate, and for a man to take orders from a woman is something that they just do not want to do at this particular time. Ashur knows that there's no way around this. Cornelia is basically the power of the house while Caesar is gone. And again, once I said, I don't think that there's any way that you can get rid of this chick. I think she's got to be there for the long haul. So she's safe. You just got to bend the knee to her and just take whatever she gives you at this time. So she then has these gladiators go up there so that they can entertain the fine young ladies that are out there. And by doing so, she makes them all basically strip down just so that they can look at them, so they can ogle at them, and they can do whatever they want to do to them. But as this particular time goes on, she goes to Ashur and she goes, "Oh, weren't you a champion of the arena? Weren't you one of these champions?" And we see twice in this episode, and this is the first time where Ash's hubris gets the best of him, because he starts to brag about his prowess. He starts to brag about how great he was when he was inside of this arena. And we know, we've seen the other ones, he was the lowest of all of the other gladiators. He was not good, he was not great, he was not anything. He was just the lowest of all the gladiators. They all made fun of him. And as for the fact that we seen how easily he was able to dominate and how easily he was able to beat the best of his house, we have to still assume that all of these other gladiators are weak and they all stink. But as she makes all the other gladiators drop their loincloths so she could really get a good look at them, so the ladies can get a good look at them, and then she makes Ashur do the exact same thing, showing that he is no more, even though he is the dominant of this house, to her, he is nothing more than a slave to her, and that he has no choice but to do anything she wants him to do, and she will always view him as such. But while doing this, we see that Ashur's woman, she is not entertained by the fact that they are embarrassing him like this. She is not about that whole lifestyle. She does not want to be around anything like that. So she makes an excuse why she cannot be there, and that she has a headache, and that she has to leave. And Cornelia is like, is she really, a true Roman woman? But her mom defends her. Her mom's like, she's my daughter, so she, and she will be my daughter. So she basically checks Cornelia, trying to get her to diss her daughter, but she would not allow that to happen. So we do see that there's a good side of her. She is representing for her daughter, but her daughter then stumbles upon Ashur. As she left, she wanted to go see him, and she goes and she has a conversation with him. And the whole thing is that when she seen Achilles fighting, when she seen all this going down, it just stirred her and made her feel like a woman is more than just a piece. It's more than just a trophy, can do more, and that's what excited her. Now, during the battle that we see, we can already figure that no matter how many people battle, it's pretty obvious who are going to be the last two in this whole situation. It's pretty obvious that no matter how many fights we see these gladiators have, in the end, it's going to come down to father and son. They have set that up. I have told you in previous videos that I believe that that is how it's going to play out, and that's how it's going to go. But he asked Chorus, can he go see Achilles, because he trained her and he just wants to give her encouragement so that she can come back. And Chorus says, no, she's all right. You need to focus on what you need to focus on right now. And we can see that he has something for her, that he cares about her. And his son is very jealous of this relationship that they have, because he just wants to kill her so he can be the next champion. He thinks that his dad is getting in the way of that whole situation. Ashur then brings Shorty to go take a look at Achilles. And the new medicus that Ashur got from Chorus's boyfriend, Chorus is the one who got it, speaks Greek. Ashur cannot understand him, but luckily she does understand, and she is the one who translates for him so that he can understand exactly what this guy is talking about and able to save Achilles' life. Like I said a little bit earlier, we do see that she is more of a feminist. She believes more of women having more power than what they're actually given, and that is what she wants to see happen, go on in this world, and that's the type of woman she wants to be. She just does not want to be someone who is a pretty face, who just has babies, who just stays home, who just takes care of a man. She actually wants to have a life of her own. And Ashur respects her for this. Again, the only way Ashur can truly rise is if he gets this chick. And that is exactly what is going to happen. He has to get her, get his hands on her, or she's going to die a horrible death. You let me know in the comment section what you think. But we can see now exactly Cornelia's real plot. She is trying to get the daughter married off to one of Caesar's allies so she can get the senator behind this whole situation. And her plan is to seduce the mother. And we know the mother, likes to get licky licked, right? We've seen that already. But now we can see straight up that she is also into women touching her too. In fact, she just wants to be touched. I guess her husband isn't performing the way he used to, because she lays them hands on her very quick. And once she lays those hands on her, it seems like she is willing to do whatever she has to do. When they do all this talking and they do all these things in front of all these slaves, I guess they are just not concerned that these slaves are actually going to drop dime on them. But I do believe that that is what's going to happen when it's all said and done. It's going to drop dime. It's going to let them know something, and they're just going to be playing around with each other, and that is how they're going to be exposed for one of their situations. After this situation, we see Chorus talking to Ashur once again. And Chorus wants to take leave of the house so that he can go see his man once again. And we see Ashur talking to who is his girlfriend, I would say, and her talking to the woman who actually is in love with his girlfriend. And she's upset that this woman is treating this lady like she is the one who runs the house, but in fact, she is right. Who is she to do anything? She cannot tell this lady, hey, go kick rocks. She can't do that. She can do nothing like that. She has to do everything that she's told. She is just a slave. So Chorus arrives at the house with a bottle of wine, and he gives his pendant off to his boyfriend, and he tells him that the first thing he got when he freed himself from slavery, he just bought the first pendant he could find, and this was that, and he wants to give it to him. And they come up with a deal. He wants to go. Chorus, now I didn't think Chorus was like this, but Chorus wants to go off with him to Sicilia. He wants to go. So he says he just can't do it because Ashur is a terrible person, and he's afraid of him, and he's seen the things that this guy has done for revenge, and he's brutal. But they come up with a plan. He says, I will give all of my gladiators and my villa to him in order for exchange to you. And they go back to Ashur to present him with this whole situation. Now, this is a deal he cannot refuse. Now, of course, is very important to training the gladiators, but as we talked about a little bit earlier, Ashur's gladiators suck. They're the worst gladiators of them all. So if he is able to procure any of this other gladiators, we have to think they are much higher level. Even though they don't have a great deltory, they are a much higher level than the ones that Ashur currently has. So just to add all this stock to his arsenal would allow him to be elevated and basically have, I would say, the biggest group of gladiators all together to go out there and fight in the arena, because you need some gladiators to die, you need some gladiators to be good. You need both, right? So if he just gets more, then he has more to die, he has more to get good. So it's a win-win situation for him to have this deal. But he does not want to part with Chorus at this particular time, and he just says he just wants to think about this whole situation. And then we shift back once again to the battle that's going on to find out who is going to be the lead of this house. Now that the other gladiators have returned from their outing, I shall say, with these ladies, they are able to participate in the next round of this whole tournament, in the next round of what's going on. Again, I like the part, I like the fighting, but it's pretty predictable who was going to win in the end of this. I mean, I don't think that there was ever going to be anything else happen. But Cornelia comes out and she tells Ashur the plan. And the plan is for him to go see the senator and make Caesar's will happen. To go there and make sure that what Caesar wants, this marriage, and that's what he wants. He is going to go there and he's going to talk in the senator's ear and he's going to do exactly what they want him to do. And that is get this done. She has done her part with the mother. Now it's time for him to do his part with the father. And this is something obviously he does not want to happen because, again, we talked about it a little bit earlier. The only way for him to truly rise up in those ranks is to get this girl under his arm. So the battle goes forth and we know who the champion was going to be because it was pretty obvious the way they were setting it up. And as Ashur goes and meets with the senator, and he does not want this to happen. The senator knows the scheme. He knows that they're trying to trade off his daughter, and he understands the reason why. And Ashur just goes and blabs the whole thing. Whole Caesar's plan that, oh, Caesar put me up to going over here, and I really don't want this for you. I don't think it's a good idea. And he says he's not loyal to Caesar at all, only to his benefactor, and that Caesar is just trying to rise. Listen, this dude has made a very powerful enemy in Caesar, who could basically snap him like a breadstick anytime that he wants. But the senator agrees to this whole situation. The senator agrees with him. Ashur then goes out, and while he is walking around the market, he runs into the brothers Ferox and the Easterter. And the Easterter comes up to Ashur with a very good offer. To me, I think it was a great offer that he made to him because he's basically telling him, listen, your girl has made all these people want to see her. As Ashur was walking around the town, people were coming up to him, asking him about Achilles. And he goes, we could both benefit from this situation. I will put my lowly gladiators, as I said earlier, you have to have gladiators that you can just sacrifice to die. So her star can rise and she can still take out all of these people. You know what I mean? And we can make money on both ends of this whole situation. I'll put my bad ones up there. She keeps winning. The crowd is happy. We all get paid. But Ashur then blabs again that he doesn't need to do it because he is acquiring the villa and all the other gladiators. And that is his second hubris we see in this episode. His hubris that he just has to brag about something instead of keeping your mouth shut. Just keep your mouth shut. He got beat up by Caesar because he didn't keep his mouth shut. And this is going to come back to haunt him. So again, the final tournament that we knew was going to happen is going to be the father versus the son, and the father beats the son, which to me in the end is setting up the son to kill the father before this whole show is over, and that's the way it's going to go. But Ashur does agree to let Chorus go. He agrees that, Chorus, I will take the deal and you can just go. After talking to the senator actually convinces him that that's the right path for him. But as this all goes down, he then names his new Easterter, who is the champion. Now he's the Easterter, and he says this because Chorus is going to leave him. So now we have the Easterter, and it's crazy because, you know, Graham, the guy who McTavish, he always leaves shows early. And I was thinking he left the House of Dragon early. And I'm like, man, is he really going to leave another show early? And that's all we're going to get of this guy. He's just going to bounce and that's going to be it. But he is one of the main cast members. So I was like, how could this possibly be happening? How could this actually go down like this? And it doesn't go down like this. It goes down in a more sinister way. Listen, Ashur is happy for him that he's going to go and he's going to leave. But because of his big mouth, I think that one of the best scenes that we've seen in this whole situation is Achilles' flashback. And we finally get a look at what that totally looks like. While Ashur and Chorus do a sacrifice in order to try to make her better, we see her having a fever dream, and we can see that this little girl that we've seen before must be her daughter or her sister. I'm going to say it's her daughter, and they're being attacked, and she's trying to fight the people off, and she throws the spear, and when she does, she winds up killing the person and killing her daughter at the same time. And this is what haunts her. This is what makes her just go crazy, and why she cannot live with herself, because she killed her own child because of it. But she snaps out of this coma, this fever dream, and she realizes that she is still alive and she is about to get better. But back inside of the villa, we see everybody slain, everybody eaten up and beat up and killed. And who is this? The brothers Farrax. And I believe that they did a great job making these guys seem creepier than they actually are, seem to be a threat more than they actually are, because they come out there, wipe him out, and kill him and take him out. And it's all because of Ashur's big mouth. If he would have kept his mouth shut, this would have never happened. But the guy sent him over there to do the job. And then we end with Chorus leaving to go meet this guy. There will be hell to pay for this whole situation. And we could see that these brothers are more than I thought they would be. They're making them into the big bad of season 1. Of course, may have to come out of retirement and go and kill them, or it's going to be a killer killing him for him. But in the end, they're doing a good job setting them up and not just making them the little characters that I thought they were going to be. But you tell me what you thought about the episode in the comment section. And if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.